Alrighty, Lumberjacks, welcome back to another Logging from Scratch episode. So last time we were playing, what did we do last time? We had just skidded all that good stuff from down below, and we piled it up, ready to be processing. But I didn't want to do another processing video right back to back, so I think what we're gonna do in this one is, we gotta finish up loading. So what I'm gonna do is take this load over to the mill. Let's get that over with first. Buy ourselves a brand new trailer, and then we're going to bring it back empty, and we're going to go up there and pick up all the rest of the bits. Should be able to get at least one more trailer's worth, I think. So let's see if we can get this sucker over the bridge. Luckily, this truck here has a lot of beans in it, so it's good for powering through. Oh god, Woo! Just lost my traction there a little bit. There we go. There we go. That's better. It's not the world's perfect bridge, but the fact that we can get across there is pretty cool. Took a lot of work, man. That was a lot of work getting that over there. Too much work. Way too much work. Okay, so what we're going to do, drop this guy off. We're going to pile it up next to the other ones. Man, we should probably unload some soon. When I get down to 400,000, if that's ever a time while we're playing, then I will I'll bump it back up to a higher amount there. Okay. And then soon, once we get this next block completed over here, I think it's time to head on to Rogue River. But before I can go to Rogue River, I have to get something that skids or something that yards, something to pull stuff up hills. Because I don't know how many of you are playing Rogue River right now, but that is not a map for the faint of heart. It is very steep, and it is very sketchy trying to move logs around. Frustrating as all hell if you're trying to use just the basic equipment that we have. So you definitely do need something. I'm working on a bulldozer right now, and I'm hoping to God I can get it out soon because I'm tired of trying to use that skidder, which I also can't seem to find a perfect fix to, so I just don't really mind all that much. Look at that. Good job. Okay, so let's get ourselves another trailer. I don't know why we're leasing all these. I could have bought like 100 of them probably by now. We'll worry about that later. We actually have a lot of wood here. Actually, that right there would be a perfect place to test my my skidder when we get there. Or not my skidder, my my brain is just like mentally fried today. It's a very long day. I was trying to say dozer with a winch. Dozer with a winch. It's going to be a thing. It's going to happen. I don't quite know how, but I'm going to make it happen. Whatever it takes, we will make it work. But I think I got the idea across what I need to do. It feels very straightforward. So I'm hoping to God it will be. Piece by piece, we're putting her together. And there's our old block. At the end of this series on Grizzly Mountain, I definitely will have to do like a drone flyover to show our accomplishments because this has been a long journey doing all this work. I think that's what makes the experience fun for you guys probably too, hey? Like, you know, you can remember when we cut that block, or you can remember when we moved that stuff over there, or, you know, and all the frustrations that came with it. I think that's what makes the whole process of watching it fun for the whole series, because you get to see every little drop and bit kind of happen as you go, and that's pretty cool. Definitely pretty cool. I saw crows in my mirror. That's a good sign. Crowmite from Dunlin. Some Lord of the Rings stuff. I probably quoted it 100% wrong, so please do feel concerned by that. Alright, so let's get this. I think just on the straight stretch right here is where we want it. Because it should be, yeah, right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to park this bad boy right about here. That should be about right for that loader. Park it there. Don't want to waste any more gas we already have. Ba-ba-da. Oh, that's speaking of which, apparently the truck has a issue for fueling. I gotta look into that. Having a life is terrible. Trying to balance your own personal life and be a modder and do all this stuff. Makes it a hard gig. Hard gig for anyone. Pity the modder who don't drink milk. Good for the bones. So let's get this guy up here, and then we're going to do some magical loading to clean this up. I think we're pretty much right in the right spot here. Because we kind of got a bit of a bench on it. Not a huge bench, but a little bit of a bench for loading, which is nice. It's a very nice thing to have. A little bit of an angle here. Let's get out of that angle. How about that? That feels pretty alright. So these are still the 4.3 meter logs here. But now we've switched to 4.9 in our new pile, so we got to remember that. Things will have longer ends on them, so it'll be much easier to load if they're not 100% perfect. That's kind of an ideal thing to have. See, this way if they kind of fall off axis, I don't have to butt them up all the time, which can be a big old pain in the rectum or any particular area. There we go. All right. Had a guy email me a couple days ago. A guy named Alistair. So, Alistair, if you're watching the video, he wanted to know if I would give him lessons on how to operate machinery like this. He wants to know how he can get as smooth and as fast, and he wants to be as good. Well, I can tell you, man, it's just lots of practice. Like, that's the big one. Any one of you guys can do it. Any one of you guys. But it does take practice, and it does take time, and it takes a lot of failures. Like, I loaded trailers in this game for so long now that it's like feels like a job because it's so easy. It feels like a job I've been doing, like just second nature to me. Even with these glitchy physics, in real life, I've never actually loaded an actual. Well, that's not true. I've kind of loaded a trailer at the last job I had there. That was pretty fun. But most of the time, I've only played with button tops and stuff in real life. I've never actually had them as a serious job where I'm operating them daily or anything like that. But, you know, aspiring logging fans or actual loggers who want to get better, I mean, just do it lots. Practice, practice, practice. Something to be said about practice, that's for sure. Just takes a lot of time and effort, and eventually you'll get it. The best way, in my opinion, is to listen to music, find a map that you love for logging, and just go to town, cut it up. Load away, cut away, practice all the machines, practice all the movements, and get used to more than just one machine. That's the trick. Too many people are like, oh man, this is the only machine I can run, it's my good one. Well, don't have anything like that. To get good on all of them, be able to run anything and whatever application, you know, if you're unloading logs, learn to unload logs really well. If you're bunching, learn to bunch really well. If you're, you know, whatever, processing, learn to process really well by just playing with the controls. Some people are like, oh, I'm only good at loading, but I can't process and I can't do this. And it's like, if you're good at loading, like loading's the hardest one out of all of them, in my opinion. Because it's the one where you have to be the most articulate with your movements, right? Processing, not so much. I mean, unless you want to be like pitch perfect for putting your piles together, but most of the time you don't really have to do a lot for that. Processing is exactly what you want to make out of it in this game. Obviously, in real life, it's a different story, but in this game, it's whatever you want to make out of it. So if, you know, you want to do what I do and pile the smaller bits or chip the little bits or keep the little bits, if you can process it to keep those out of the pile, then you're already way ahead of yourself. So oops, kind of cut that back in a little there, but we did get where we needed to. I used to get the hiccups today. There we go. Let's just unleash these two. I don't want the other one sliding while I'm loading. Always good advice. So if you have a front bunk filled up like that, which is already slid a bit, I can see. Actually, I want to correct that because I think that's going to screw with me a little here. So I'm just going to go like this, and I'm going to push these ones up just a teeny bit here. There we go. Now I feel more confident. And I'm going to go relock it. Trick. Oops, trick. And trick. So yeah, if you're on an incline in this game, the physics do slide. Like, so if there's any kind of an incline, lock the front bunk when you're done with it, when you're loading the second bunk, and then when the second bunk's done, you lock that and then load the third. I'm gonna turn this light on, give myself a little bit better depth perception here. So yeah, in my opinion, loading I think is the hardest part of this game, because you have to be a little more precise. You have to be able to kind of feel the logs out as you're doing it. And it's so weird because you can't actually, like, I don't have any haptic feedback, so I can't really feel the machine or what it's doing. In real life, you can totally have that effect where you feel it, right? You know each movement and how much pressure. In this, you have to kind of just use your eyes, I guess, and just, I don't know, it becomes like a sixth sense. It's really bizarre. Just human nature, you know, we evolved to adapt to things, but any one of you guys can be a badass loader. And I've seen some guys that are like really good, like probably better than me at sometimes. Actually, the only other person I would put up a solid definite fight with for loading, and I think would be an even keel, or he might even win, would be Umbreon. That guy can load like it ain't nobody's business, and I like that. I haven't seen a lot of other guys load very well, but he's definitely got the touch. Actually, Austin, he was actually a really good loaderman too, before our little falling out there, but he was definitely a awesome loaderman, I'll give him that. Loading is not the easiest gig in this game, that's for sure. I think this is our last pile, isn't it? I think so. Before we get on to the new stuff? I'm actually going to park kind of on this slope while we'll readjust here. So let's go like this. Lock that up. That should be enough to finish up this last bunk. We even got room on that second bunk if we don't have enough for the full. I think we'll have enough anyway, but if we need it, it's there. Yeah, and this is the last bunk, or the last bit, I think. And then we're on to the new pile, so that's cool. Alright, so let's go like this and just kind of... Oops, I actually want to back up a little here. I'm kind of backwards, but whatever, we'll make it work. As long as I'm not too tippy. Oh yeah, we're tippy. Tippy is bad. You don't want tippy while you're loading. That's a big one. How's that? That feels pretty good. A little tippy. Let's see if we maybe... Let's try that. That feels alright. And then if you're in a spot where you have to be tippy, just move slower. Like if you feel you're gonna tilt, because then at least when the tilt happens, it'll be slow instead of like a big erupt, boop, boop, and then knock all the logs out of your grapple. Just move slow. There we go. Whoop. Move slowly. Bingo. Go here. Put this in here. So yeah, last time I was talking about doing a save game thing, basically where people give me their save game and then I'll work on the map that they've played on or something. I was thinking about doing that. I mentioned it in the last recording we did, and I got some responses. So I think we might try something like that. If anybody else has a map, what I really would like is loading. I love loading. I could do this forever. Processing, sure, whatever. I don't really care. But if you guys have a map where you have a whole bunch of logs cut and piled nicely, and you just want them loaded, I'm your guy. Hook me up, and I'll play your map, your save game, and load it up. Challenge me. I think it could be fun. No, I know it would be fun. All right, so this is good here. I'm going to bring this guy back because, I mean, well, we got another load. And then what I should do is get that other load over to the unloader. And then maybe maybe when we come back, we can unload on the next episode. So let's get this guy all the way down to the mill, which I don't think will be a problem. Oh, we got all our little slash piles. We actually did quite well on this map. Cleaned up real well. I still can't believe we got over this bridge. This thing was such a pain in the arse. Remember how miserable that was? Well, I don't know. You guys got to see it in fast forward. I had to live through it. Playing with that stupid wood chipper. Whoa, easy there, Tippy. That stupid arse wood chipper. What a piece of crap. I was going to make another wood chipper, but it's kind of in the back burners. I got some other projects on the go here, so maps and such. Don't want to rush it. Alright, so let's go this way. Should really sell that power clam. I mean, it's sitting there just being leased, costing us money doing nothing, but we got so much money now, 533,000 still, and probably another God knows how many million sitting out front here. Well, if each load is like, I don't know, let's say 60 grand, so yeah, we probably got about 400, 500 grand sitting there, maybe a bit more. That's a lot. It's a lot of money just hanging out, waiting to be abused. Alright, so let's drop this off, and then what I want to do is I want to grab that second load that's parked kind of in front of where the machines are purchased. And I'm going to bring that over to the unloader, because that's going to have to be a thing. So, what are we going to do here? Just park it here, I guess. Man, look at all that freaking wood. That's crazy, hey? Time after time. It's an impressive amount of trees we've cleared out of that forest, isn't it? Okay, so let's hook this guy on. And we're going to bring it over to the... This was the ugly load. I remember this one with all the little wiggly tops. Gross. Disgusting. Those ones are almost long enough to touch the vent. Neat. Okay, so let's put this right next to this guy. But we're not going to unload it on this episode. We'll save that for the next one. Because we're not going to have quite enough time left to do the whole thing or do here. Whoops. Here. You'll learn how to back up. We're going to go to backup school. So, here we go again. Let's go park this right in here. There we go. Bingo. Let's turn that off. Okay, perfect. So that load is ready to be unloaded. Unfortunately, we don't have quite enough time to unload the full thing. So one thing I wanted to check before we go is I just want to make sure that was our last pile, because I didn't see any others while we were running around there. Nope, that's it. We got them all, man. So now we're up top here. You know, I think I'm going to, because we're almost done with this map, I'm going to sell the big processor, save us some money here. What else do we not need? Anything? The skidder I should keep for now. We've got a whole bunch of trailers. The blade can go. We don't need the blade. Silly thing. It's the big unloader and the low bed. Well, actually, we won't need the low bed because this is our last block, so... But what we're going to do at the very last episode of this, once we get this edge of this block cleaned up, is I'm going to sell all of that wood. So the last couple episodes, we're going to have unloading episodes where we just burn through all that wood. I'm going to write down the totals, and we're going to see how much it is. You know what? I'm going to even make it real fun. I'm going to make it really fun. So I'm going to, whatever we end up with wood from our blocks and killing here, whatever's left... I'm going to stack up in a row, and we're going to have a little guessing contest. And whoever wins the contest, I'm going to send a little FDR gift bag to. I think that actually sounds like fun. So, yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to line them all up, a whole bunch of different trailers, and then you guys are going to have to guess what the total amount's going to be by the end of it. maybe we'll do that all in one little video there. That could be fun. And then whoever guesses closest, yeah, I guess will be the winner. I think that could be pretty fun. I think it'll be really fun, and some lucky guy's going to get some stuff. We're going to be having a couple more contesty things coming up here, because I do have some FDR merch I want to give away, because we have a whole bunch that came in that I just never really did anything with. It was supposed to be for a different contest thing I was going to do, but it didn't happen. So I'm going to have to get back in the spirit of giving here, because I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that wouldn't mind some FDR logging hats or trinkets and things that I have. So anyway, I'm going to end it there. When we come back in the next one, that's the plan. We're going to keep cutting up here, maybe move some of that wood out of here just so we don't start lagging out, and then we get to head down this hill. I think I'm going to call this ridge line the stop point. So I want to clean out this whole valley down here right to the river, or as close as we can get, and that'll be the end of that block. It's pretty cool. So yeah, if you guys like the video, leave a like, leave a comment. Do not forget to subscribe, and if you're in the bush, don't forget to hug a tree. All right, guys, we'll catch you in the next one. See ya.